Hello everyone, I am Josh and welcome to this Sims 4 house building video. Now today I am building a mansion styled home here in Newcrest, and I know it doesn't quite look like Newcrest, does it? And that's because it's covered in snow, which I thought was pretty cool. So the reason that everything is in snow is because I downloaded a mod called First Snow, which is made by Greg from SimCookie. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to download it, and it is pretty cool. Now, the one that I have here is the normal version of the mod, so it's not heavy snow. As you can see, it's kind of just like a light bit of snow, just kind of on the surface of the ground and kind of sprinkled in the trees a bit. But there is a second version of the mod that's optional that will make it much deeper. So yeah, now, because it is a mod, it can mess up your game, just, so just if something happens, don't come running to me asking for fixes, because I don't know how to fix The Sims 4 if something goes wrong with a mod. So yeah, so use it at your own risk, because I did have a few problems with it, but I was able to sort them out. Anyway, this house is called Frostbite Estate, which is kind of a depressing name because frostbite is a horrible thing, but it sounded wintry, so that's what I went with. And Frostbite Estate kind of has a catch to it. Kind of sounds a little catchy, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I called the house, and it's a pretty big house. It ends up having 5 bedrooms and well, I guess it's 3 bathrooms and 2 half bathrooms, so we can just call it 5 bathrooms. Yeah. So as you can see here, it's kind of just a bunch of boxes put together. It's not like super fancy or anything, but it ends up looking really nice in the end because I put lots of trim and balconies and stuff, and it just looks really cool. Like, I love this house. It turned out so nicely. And yeah, and if you want to download this house, of course, like I said, well, there's a link in the description for the mod, but there's also a link in the description to download the house. And I don't know if you need the mod to download it. I don't think so. So I guess if you download it, there just won't be snow, so it would be the same house if you just download it. If you install the mod, of course, then everything in the game will be covered in snow no matter what house you use. So yeah, I think it's kind of weird on the gallery. You have to, like, if you want to search for it on the gallery instead of using the link that I have, then you'll have to make sure that you check off to show lots using custom content, because by default the gallery won't show this house because it uses a mod. So it's a little weird, but anyway, you can see here I just added this rear part of the house that kind of expands it, so from the side it looks kind of nice. You got like a balcony, not a balcony, a porch on the side there, and also a porch on the back here, so it's pretty nice. I don't do too much with the yard because everything in here is covered in snow, so I thought it would be a bit weird to have like chairs and like a grill and like outdoor furniture when there's snow all over the place, so I didn't quite do that. So I guess if you download the house and you don't want the snow, and so you don't put the mod in, then you can put whatever you want outside around it. I mean, of course I landscape it, but I don't like put furniture or anything outside. So you can see here I just added a whole bunch of balconies to the outside of the house. I believe that on the second floor there's, there's 3 on the front and then 2 on each side, so that's like 7, I think. Wait, is that 7? Yeah, it's 7. 7 balconies on the outside of the house, so that's pretty cool. You can see I just put doors to all of them, and they do, I think they're functional. I mean, they're only 1 by 2, so I don't know if a sim can actually walk out onto them. I hope so. Anyway, they're more there for decoration. And here I'm just adding some more decoration here, which is just some dormers. They're not usable, there's no 3rd floor or anything, but they just kind of add something to the house. I do change the roof color to white, so there's actually not snow on the roof, and the roof color is not part of the mod. It's just a white roof that they have in the game, so you'll see I changed that out soon, which actually looks really cool, so you'll see that. Just adding some columns on the corners to add some detail, and here I'm putting in some shuttered windows down the back of the house, and all that good stuff, and putting some windows on those little dormers. And also, I love these huge windows that I'm putting in right now, that are like 3 wide, and they have these huge shutters. They look really cool, and I put them here on this kind of bay window, and it looks really nice. And here I'm just adding some windows on the dormers, and a little window there, like some little windows kind of in the roof eaves. Looks pretty cool. So here I'm beginning on colors. So the color of the house is pretty simple. I mean, there's nothing too much to it. It's got some nice light gray brick, some light brown siding, and then some white stucco, so it looks really nice. Here I'm putting in these fake balconies that just kind of go around the downstairs area, which looks kind of nice. Adds a bit more detail. There's a nice fountain and also some front steps and some back steps and some side steps and steps everywhere pretty much. So plenty of steps, and they actually match the brick color that's on the house, which I thought was pretty cool. Here I'm putting some railings on the balconies, so they're nice and safe now. That's a good thing. And here I'm just adding some more brick, so this part of the house has the brick on it. And yeah, so it's kind of a traditional colonial style mansion, which looks really cool. I haven't done traditional. Oh, I just changed the light settings there. I was actually building this whole house in early morning, which I don't tend to do. I usually build in afternoon lighting, which I just switched to. Anyway, that's not very important. As I was saying, I don't tend to build like colonial houses like this, so it's kind of cool. I like the way it turned out as well. Just adding some railings here on these stairs, so it all looks nice. And I'm about to change out the chimneys, I believe. I'm not sure, yeah. So I was going to go with massive ones and then realized they were a bit too massive, so then I kind of scale them down and they look nice, so that's all good and jolly. And just was going to change the roof color. Oh, there we go. Just changed the roof color. So you can see with white as the roof, it actually looks really cool, especially like with the snow on the ground and everything. And this mod also comes with altered terrain paint, so you can see like this pathway has snow in it as well, so that's pretty cool. And here I'm putting a wall around the property. I was going to do a fence, but the hedge fences don't have snow on them, so they look kind of weird. So I ended up just going for a solid wall around the house. So like the corners have like bricks on them, and like the middle parts have stucco on them, so it kind of has a little bit of detail to it. So you can see I'm doing that now, and it's putting a nice wall around it because I did call this house an estate, so it seems like it should have a wall and be a little bit fancier, you know? So here I'm putting some trees out. So of course these trees don't have leaves on them, and the evergreen trees have snow on them, which looks really cool. So you can see that here. I'm just putting a bunch of those trees around the place. There's some in the backyard there. It just looks so nice. I just love that. I love the look of the snow. I really hope that we get a Seasons expansion pack for The Sims 4 sometime soon, and we can actually have snow that like falls and like have icicles and all that kind of stuff like The Sims 3 had, because it just looks so beautiful. I mean, there's just something about snow that's just so beautiful. It's a hassle in real life, but it's beautiful in a game. So I really hope that we get a Seasons pack sometime soon. Like, that's my #1 expansion pack that I really want to see. So hopefully that's in the near future. Anyway, I just walled in the floor plan for the first floor. So this room here is going to be the kitchen. As you can see, it's massive, but I have like a nice large kitchen, and we have a little breakfast nook, and then like a little extra area with a chest table and stuff, so all this space gets used pretty well. And here I'm just putting the the second floor floor plan, sorry, where all 5 bedrooms are located, and also 3 bathrooms. So yeah, it's quite expansive. So you can see here there's 2 bedrooms there, and this side is the master bedroom, so you can see I just put that in, and there's another couple bedrooms in the back of the house as well. So definitely plenty of space. And of course, with all these bedrooms, if you want to, you can pretty much change them out into other rooms. There's also a study downstairs, so that's already covered. But I guess if you want a home gym or something, or anything like that, you could probably easily convert one of the bedrooms into that, because there's plenty of space in this house. So as you can see, it's putting in doors everywhere, so your Sims can get from room to room, and also putting doors and archways downstairs. And you can see like I have this little hallway there behind the staircase, which I thought was kind of cool. So that's kind of the hallway that attaches all the main rooms on the first floor. So I don't know, I thought it was kind of like neatened up the floor plan a bit, so it's kind of like all the rooms come off this one central area, as opposed to just like branching off willy-nilly. Yeah, so here I'm putting together some chandeliers. I made those chandeliers out of 2, which I kind of overlapped, so there's a lot more of those little like lights on them, which actually looks pretty cool. So you can see how that looks, and adding some lighting in the hallways and all over the place and all that good stuff. I do change the wall color here in the entrance. I was going to do a light blue, but I changed it to gray because the light blue just didn't look right. So, oh, I changed it already. There you go. And I also have this beautiful black and white marble tile floor, which I really like that flooring. I've used it quite a lot in some previous builds because it just looks so elegant, and it just really suited the style of this house. I mean, it looks very luxurious, and yeah, so that's what I did. Here I'm putting in some paintings on the walls, also some side tables. The entrance is very symmetrical, so I mean, like, it is perfectly symmetrical pretty much. So you have like a door on either side, the staircase in the middle, an archway on either side of the staircase, and two side tables on either side of the front door, and you get the idea. So very symmetrical entranceway, which I really like though. It kind of works really well at this house because the front of the house is all symmetrical too. Not the back though, but the front is. It looks really nice. Like the thing is with like symmetry in houses, symmetry tends to work like really well with colonial houses, and especially big ones. But like when you have small houses or like modern houses and stuff, the symmetry just does not work. I don't know. It's like you have to know when to use symmetry and when not to use symmetry. But in this case, it turned out really nicely. So there's a little half bathroom there off the entranceway, and here we're beginning on the living room, which you can see is quite a large room that has a fireplace as well. So I'm just changing the color of that and putting a gigantic TV over it. I'm going to do that, and there it is. Beautiful, huge TV, and plenty of seating, of course, you'll see that. And yeah, a couple of couches, very similar layout again to my living room from like my last couple of houses. It's just like kind of the layout I like, is having two couches, a couple of chairs off to one side, and then like a couple TV tables in the middle, which look like coffee tables, but those are actually TV tables. I don't know, I like the look of those more than coffee tables. They kind of go together better. Like if you put two next to each other, they look more like one unit as opposed to putting together two coffee tables. I don't know, just my opinion. So putting in a nice rug here, of course, very brown color scheme, but it's very neutral, I guess. So putting in a little side table over there, and I'm also going to put in a little light and some other details and stuff. I'd actually spent quite a while on this room because I really wanted it to be really nice and detailed and kind of look luxurious and like really warm and cozy. So you can see I'm putting in like huge curtains and plants, and so like a little chest here in the back and stuff like that. Looks really nice. Also, I feel like the snow on the outside makes the inside of the house just look cozier just because there's snow outside, which I think is pretty cool. And like all my other houses, I was looking at some of my other houses with the snow mod, they look really cool with snow. It's just like so beautiful. So yeah, anyway, I'm putting some shelves here around this bookshelf, and I'm going to put a bunch of stuff on them, of course, and you know, it looks pretty cool once it's filled with stuff. I basically put a lot of awards here, so a lot of trophies and like stuff like that, which actually looks pretty cool. So it's kind of like an awards cabinet, not a cabinet, but like shelves with awards in them. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. And here I'm just going to put some random clutter items all over the place, of course. Plenty of those. There's my first award that I just put on there, and there's another one, and there's another one, and there's that giant golden bust that's on top of the bookshelf. Looks pretty fancy. Also going to put a nice painting over here, I believe, once I find one that works. Or not. Oh, yeah, there it is. And just some more details. It was kind of hard to fill this room up because there's a lot of, it's a big room. There's like a lot of space in it that I had to like fill up with a bunch of stuff. There's like a lot of end tables in this room. There's probably like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, there's 3 end tables in that room. That was like the best way I could fill the space, but it actually all came together really nicely. And over here we have the formal dining room, which is kind of a weird shape because of the bathroom that's next to it, so it kind of is a L shape there, but it works. So you have a nice chandelier there over the dining table. I also put a little sitting area, and it all looks pretty nice. So here I'm about to put in a nice painting and a little china cabinet. There you go. And yeah, it's a pretty simple room. It's not like overly done. It's not like super detailed, but it looks pretty elegant and it looks nice. So there's a nice little sitting area, and over here's a mirror, and also of course a side table, which to put clutter on, of course. Plenty of clutter items, and then some urns on the table there. Gotta have your urns. I don't know what's with me and urns. They just look so nice. I wish they weren't actually urns because they just look like nice kind of sculptures or something. I don't know. Anyway, over here is the study. So I have a nice fireplace in here, also putting a brick accent on the wall there, and of course some bookshelves flanking the fireplace. As you can see, it's a pretty interestingly sized room. Like, it's kind of small, but it's about the same size as the dining room, I think. I don't know. It turned out nicely, though. I was going to put a secret bookcase door somewhere in the house, but there wasn't any room for it, so you probably saw me doing that like a few seconds ago. Like, I don't know. I need to find a use for that secret bookcase door at some point. The only issue with it is it doesn't look that secret. I mean, you can kind of tell it's a door because it doesn't actually match any of the bookcases in the game, unlike the one from The Sims 3, so that's a bit unfortunate, but anyway, almost done with the study here, just putting in some details like a little ship model there, which I thought was pretty cool. And now we're moving on to the kitchen. So the kitchen, as you can see, is huge. I also do something really cool with the flooring, which I think I'll get to in a moment. I do kind of a cool pattern with the brick flooring. But you can see here the majority of the kitchen actually is the island, which is kind of weird, but it turns out well, turns out nicely. So got double ovens there and nice big range hoods, and the refrigerator goes back in that corner. Also put some cabinets there over the archways. There's the fridge, and there's some nice curtains on the windows to make it look nice and cozy. And I'm about to do the flooring here. Here we go. So you can see I'm kind of doing this interesting pattern with the flooring. So like the bricks are kind of going all different directions and stuff. It is a pattern. It's not just like random, but it looks kind of cool. It definitely adds a more interesting look to the floor than it would be if it was just normal bricks. And you can see it putting a nice pots and pans rack there over the sinks. It's kind of, I think, too high up to actually reach, but it's more for show. Also put that interesting rug on the floor there, which I don't tend to use because I can't find a good place for it, but it looks good there, so that's all good and jolly. And in the back where the bay window is going to be a little breakfast nook, which is kind of nice, and I'm also putting a little mat on the floor. This area here is kind of just like an extra space that I had. It's kind of an entrance slash mudroom because there's a door there that leads outside, so I kind of count it as a mudroom. It also has a chess table there, so that was kind of a place for that. And here I'm putting in the breakfast nook, so it got a little round table and some nice chairs around it there, so nice little place if your Sims don't want to eat in the formal dining room because, you know, that's a little too much, a little over the top for like breakfast and stuff. There's also a bunch of bar stools around the island, which you probably saw. Right here I'm just messing around with some trim on the outside and all that good stuff. Hopefully we'll jump back inside in a moment. Or not, I don't know. Putting fireplaces upstairs. Okay, we're back in the kitchen. Yeah, so as I was saying, there are some bar stools around the island, so your Sims can eat there too. Also put in a china cabinet, and I also put some more details in later. I think I come back in a moment and do some more details after I do the bathroom here. So here's the another half bathroom, which is off the kitchen. I guess this bathroom, or the other one for that matter, could be made into full bathrooms if you wanted to, but I don't know, it just was extra space, so I thought, why not make a second half bath, you know? So, as you can see here, pretty simple bathroom. Got a nice sink, toilet, put some curtains on the windows there, so there's some privacy. And it's a simple bathroom, not over the top. And yeah, so there you go. Here on the landing, I have a lot of bookshelves on that wall there. Also a grand piano, because, you know, I like having pianos in my houses, so, of course, we had to put the grand piano up there. And putting some more details in the kitchen, as I said I would. And we're back here. So putting a nice big painting there at the top of the stairs, and of course another side table with some plants, and some little end tables there on either side of the door kind of matching what was downstairs. And here I'm just looking at the outside of the house, I guess. I'm not really sure. I guess just viewing the outside there for some reason. And yeah, putting some lighting in the hallway there. And here we're doing the upstairs hall bathroom. So it's the only bathroom upstairs that's not an ensuite, which means that 3 out of the 5 bedrooms share it. So it'd probably be a high traffic bathroom, which is why you might want to convert one of the bathrooms downstairs into a full bathroom, because it could be a little bit problematic. Although this house is probably plenty big if you want to have a family of 8 Sims, which I believe is the max you can have. So, you know, if you have a double bed in every room, that's 10 Sims. I believe with the configuration I have here, you could sleep 9 Sims in this house because only one bedroom has a single bed. So, I mean, really, this house is plenty big for any family that you could have, unless you have a mod or something that lets you have more Sims than 8. But otherwise, this house is plenty big. So you can see here we have this nice bedroom, which is going to be a boys' bedroom. I think it more likely leans toward a teen boys' bedroom. So I have some posters on the walls, which I'm putting up right here. And I also put a little desk in the corner and stuff with a computer on it and all that good stuff. So you'll see that there's the dresser. And this room, as a fun fact, it actually doesn't have a window. There's no windows in this room. It's only those doors for the balconies. But those doors have windows in them, so it's okay. I mean, but there's no like window, whatever. It's not that important. But there's a balcony off this bedroom. But you know, that's the only way the light comes into the room is those glass doors. But you probably don't really care anyway. So anyway, I just finishing up this bedroom here. There's a nice computer desk with a shelf over it, putting some details around the place. A pile of clothes on the floor there, and just, some random stuff around the place. Little awards there on the wall, and a little backpack, and all that good stuff. So now we're done with that bedroom, and we're moving on to the girls' bedroom, which is kind of more of a kid sim, a room designed for a child sim as opposed to a teen, though I guess it could really work in either way. So there's a single bed in this room, but plenty of posters as well. Of course, a couple dressers, and I put in some mirrors as well, and some toys and all that kind of stuff. So there's a little lamp, a little chair in the corner with a lamp next to that. There's a bookshelf, and some more posters, just some stuff all over the place. Yeah, so it ends up looking pretty nice. I think it's the smallest bedroom in the house, but it's still actually a pretty decent size. I mean, you could definitely fit a double bed in this room with ease. So, it's plenty of space, and yeah. So there you go, adding in some toys, a little backpack, and a rug. So that completes that bedroom, and now we're moving on to the first guest bedroom. So, or I guess it could be anyone's bedroom if you want it to be, but I consider this the guest bedroom. So it has a balcony as well, and it has a little, actually a couple of dressers, and a kind of nice white and blue color scheme, which is kind of classy, or a white, blue, and gray color scheme. And you can see putting some paintings and a nice fancy rug there. Actually, this room has 2 balconies, I just realized, yeah. I mean, the master bedroom is 3, so that's kind of a little excessive. But again, the balconies are more for show than for actually being used. But, anyway, that bedroom's now done. We're moving on to the 4th bedroom, which is another guest's bedroom. It's kind of like it's a suite. It has its own bathroom. So I guess this could be like a grandparent's bedroom or like an in-law suite or whatever you want to call it. There's also a fireplace in this room too, so it's pretty nice. You have a fireplace and pretty decent sized bedroom, and you also have a bay window and a ensuite bathroom, so it's pretty nice. And you can see here the bed is in the bay window area, which I thought looked pretty cool. And I'm putting some nice lights there on either side of it, and a mirror, of course. Pretty big room. There's also like a little sitting area by the fireplace as well, which is pretty nice. Which you'll see, I'm going to do that in a moment. So there's a rug as well. So this room is kind of an interesting color scheme. It's kind of like neutral colors, and there's that kind of blue from the rug that kind of comes into it, which I thought is kind of cool. And also putting in some paintings and a little flower there. Just pretty nice, simple, nice bedroom. And now we're moving on to the ensuite bathroom, which is kind of small. I think it's by far the smallest bathroom in the house, but it gets the job done. Has a tub shower, there's a toilet, there's the sink. I'm also going to put some details in it, of course. It also has that brown and blue color scheme that matches the bedroom. And putting some details around the place, some towels, a robe, all that good stuff. And a little mat on the floor. So that's that bedroom and bathroom done. Now moving on to the master suite. And once we finish this, we're going to be done with the interior. So that's pretty exciting. As you can see, this bedroom is absolutely huge. It also has that purple rug, which I thought looked pretty cool. Yeah, so we also have these 2 very large chandeliers, which kind of add a green accent to the room. And here I'm putting in a couple of dressers, of course. Looks pretty nice. And yeah, also putting in a couple of mirrors on the wall there, so your Sims can look at themselves in the morning when they probably look their worst. So I don't know about that. Anyway, got a couple plants there and a little side table, of course. I think side tables are my new favorite thing over bookshelves now. I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, there's a fireplace, of course, and it's a nice painting there over the bed, and I'm also going to put a little sitting area as well, of course, and little details around the place, and some shoes there under that side table, so I guess your Sims can have their shoe selection on show. And there's the seats, so nice leather chairs, and a little award there on the table. So pretty nice bedroom. I like the way it turned out. And now we're moving on to the master bathroom, which has that marble flooring in it, of course, and a tub shower combination, matches the other bathrooms, and it has double sinks and some mirrors. It looks pretty good. Putting in a bunch of details, of course. Got a nice mat on the floor, like a little cabinet, a robe, some towels, all that good stuff, and a little painting. Anyway, that's the interior of the house done. So now moving on to the landscaping. So as you can see, a lot of the plants have this kind of snow look to them. Like they look like they have kind of a dusting of snow on top of them, and that of course is from the mod. Link in the description below, like I said before. So you can see a lot of the plants have kind of this snow look to them, which looks really beautiful. And you can see I'm putting a bunch of landscaping around the place, of course, down the side here, and a couple of plants there on either side of those back side stairs and by the side door. and it looks really classy. So you can see putting some flowers and bushes and some more flowers and some more bushes and some more bushes and some more bushes. A lot of bushes and a lot of flowers. So my typical landscaping style. Yeah, also putting some nice hedges on either side of those openings in the wall. And here's some more flowers. I love those kind of ground flowers. I use them in like every house. I don't know, they just look so nice. And some more flowers around the back of the house, and some rocks, of course. And also I'm putting this nice pathway that kind of goes around the back of the house there, and also some pathways on the sides as well. Looks really nice. Anyway, we're almost done here. I'm going to do some landscape lighting and then we'll be finished. There are, of course, some screenshots for you to check out once I'm done building the house. And of course, like I said, there's a link in the description below if you want to download the house. So as you can see here, just wrapping up, if you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd check out my channel and consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And you can see here I'm just wrapping up the house by putting in some lighting, so I have some nice outdoor lights here around the place, and it looks really classy. I'm also going to put a few chairs on the balconies and decks, not balconies, but on the decks, just so it looks like they're there for something. So yeah. And also, of course, I am going to put in a mailbox and trash can, which I always save for last, because I always tend to forget that. But don't worry, there they are. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. And yeah, so bye everyone, have a great day.